So, hi, Mulligan Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
I honestly can't complain, because we're all the way back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let me tell you, we've never been so back in our entire lives.
I got some hidden up my sleeve for you. I'm not even gonna drop it on you yet.
That's awesome. You've dropped enough on me. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming, apparently for now, which is very exciting stuff. And I went to a weekend of shows for the first time in like 7 weeks. I had sweaty dudes yell at me for a couple hours, and honestly, that was catharsis in a sense. Pretty awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word on that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, we're back, regularly scheduled programming all the way. Sorry for missing several weeks. Glory travels the world and then has the audacity to get the sickest I've ever seen her ever. But she's alive. She's made it. It didn't kill her yet.
Not yet. There's still time.
Yep. Didn't get me this time, bitch.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time if I'm still weak enough, it'll get me. It'll for sure it'll knock me out. Yeah.
But like I said, I got to go to a bunch of shows. It was so funny. We did 3 weeks worth of music, and I went to one show, and then we do 1 week's worth of music a couple days after that, and I went to 3 shows in that span of time. So I'm all the way back. My life is 100% back in order at this point. Last Thursday, I went to an acoustic shindig for work, Shades Apart and Free the Witness at the Asbury Park Brewery. That was a good time, getting to see Free the Witness perform acoustically to a crowd this time. I was with them when they did their radio performance acoustically, and that was broadcasted to the masses, but I was the only one there physically watching it besides the other people in the room that were manning the various different aspects of the performance to make sure that it went through and sounded clear on the air. I was just a jerk off standing there taking pictures,
getting in the way.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, just getting in the way. Yeah. So that was dope. And then Shades Apart performed, and it was my first time seeing them acoustically, my second time seeing them, and they sounded pretty goddamn good, considering they were doing it without a drummer, so it was just guitar and bass. It sounded pretty full, which was dope. They played a bunch of songs off their the big record Eyewitness, which turned 25 at the tail end of last year. So yeah, it's that was a good time. Lots of hangs, lots of people there that I haven't seen in a minute, so that was a good time. Friday, I got to go to the Archers temporary high tour with support from Rivals, Of Virtue, and Dead Eyes. And I've been excited for this show for a minute. We've been repping Archers for a second here, hot sec. It's been super dope to watch kind of what has been an insane rise over the last year and some change since the first time we interviewed them. And to it all culminating now into a headline tour across the entire United States. It's not their first time headlining, but headlining on this scale and the size of rooms, it's the first time doing that. Biggest headline tour to date. And the bill is absolutely stacked. Dead Eyes has been a band I've been seeing all over the goddamn place. I haven't listened to a ton of their music, but I've seen some social media clips and whatnot because they're signed to Thriller. So that shit pops up in
they're blown up.
Both of my feeds, my personal and the podcast feed, across any social media platform I decide to go on. There's a clip of them there for sure. So it was cool to see them. They had a shitload of energy. The vocalist had his sister and brother-in-law come up on stage to perform one of the songs with the band, which was pretty dope, because the band is from Maryland, so Maryland and Philadelphia are not next door to each other, but they are not a super far drive away. So that was pretty cool. Of Virtue, we've been having Damon on the podcast for a long time. 3 years ago was the first time, and it was my first time seeing them live after all of these years of knowing the band and Damon. So It was fucking awesome to finally see them. They played Sinner, which is the first time we had them on, that was a song that we chatted about. And that was like, cool. Yeah, that was the song that kind of hooked me into the band. So I had no idea what the set list was going to be, but I'm like, they have to play that song. And they even said, like, right before, like, this kind of breathed new life into the band in a sense. So it was super dope to see them play that. They played Cannibals. They played a bunch of cuts off of their most recent record, Omen, and then played a brand new song, which was heavy as shit and dope as hell. And then got to chat with Damon a little bit throughout the show and finally meet him in the flesh, which is great. Because, like I said, we've chatted with him over Zoom a handful of times, and it's always great when Glory or myself send each other photos of people that we've had on the podcast, getting to meet them in person. I was doing that to her all weekend. I
was like, hey, don't have to brag.
Rivals was after them. And I've been getting really hooked on Rivals. I can't lie, they've been all over the podcast TikTok because they're in the midst of an EP rollout. And they just have fantastic hooks and choruses. And there's no denying it. They played Fake Rich, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. It's off their last like full-length record, which we actually had them on the podcast about several years ago. And that song has Elijah from Cane Hill on it, so shit goes absolutely crazy. There's a breakdown in it because, of course, why not? But you know, they've got they're on like that heavier pop side, which is a genre that I find myself, you know, really enjoying when I find artists in that space. It's not always, I'm not actively looking for it, but when I find it, I'm like, oh shit, this is exactly what I was looking for. So then that like heavier, you know, dark pop kind of space with, you know, some you know, breakdowns and things like that. And you know, big ass choruses just littered across the board, which is, you know, the one thing I talk about on here all the time. And then Archers closed the night off, obviously, because it's their tour, their headline in that bitch, and holy fuck, it was super dope to see a room of people there for that band. You know, they've been putting in the work for sure. Grinding like hell for the longest time. They, you know, just because we had only had them on the podcast a year and some change ago for the first time does not mean I hadn't heard their name being tossed around, grinding, doing co-headline tours and shit like that. Just, you know, anything to get on the road and get their name out there. So to see them on that stage and see a couple hundred people there for them was super fucking dope. They sounded incredible. You know, I hit up Grayson after the show. I was like, dude, that's the best set that I've seen you guys play, hands down. So if you're a fan of any of these bands and this tour is coming near you, because the tour just kicked off, highly recommend. You know, these are like, you know, I'm sitting here at this tour being like, these bands, this bill is a bunch of names that we're going to be seeing higher and higher up on the marquee on bigger and bigger stages as the years go on. And it could only be a year. It doesn't have to be several years. It could be tomorrow. But, you know, kind of like looking at the next class or the future of the genre. And that's kind of how I felt all weekend with the shows I went to on Friday and Saturday, kind of looking at that next generation of, you know, what could potentially be really, really big bands. So that was a great show. And then Saturday I saw Scene Queen, Girly, and Deadlands at House of Independence for a nice and early show that kicked off with doors at 5, first band at 6:15, done by 9.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Home and in bed by 10 because I hung out to meet Deadlands at the end of the show. Got to meet Casey and CJ, which was dope. Another picture I sent Glory and she was like, oh man, good for
come
you.
On. Yeah, fuck you is actually what I said, but yeah,
but yeah, no, the another fantastic show. You know, Deadlands kicked it off and they were the band that I was really excited to see, and they were incredible. They played a bunch of cuts off their brand new EP 7, which I've been jamming pretty hardcore over here, and they sounded great. You know, the first time I saw them, you know, I'll attribute it to the venue and a whole slew of other things, but the sound and mix was very muddied and I was like, what the hell is going on? But this time around it sounded great. It sounded crystal clear, and it's very obvious in the stage presence, especially from Casey, but the entire band. It is very obvious the work that they put in, because they did a shitload of touring over the last year or so. A lot of headlining. This is their first support tour. They did a lot of headlining. They played some massive festival stages. Casey was out doing vocals for another artist as well. So lots of touring experience under the belt, and it shows in the stage performance this time around. That's another band when I'm talking about like the next generation. I felt like I was watching on that stage that night. Girli, I was not familiar with at all. I had no idea what to expect. I was expecting something heavy, considering Deadlands. I'm familiar with Seeing Queen. I'm familiar with Seeing Queen tends to be on the heavier side, although she'll have a pop moment here or there. It's generally breakdowns in most songs. And it was fucking pop music, which was a nice palate cleanser, and the music was good. I thought that it was very solid. I also really respected the fact that it was just she was the crew was super small. Seeing Queen actually shouted that out on stage, like how tight the crew for Girli's travel, the touring party in particular was. It's her, the drummer, and I believe like one other crew person that was like doing merch and photo and things like that. So keeping it very, very tight knit, and she crushed it. I always respect artists that go up there and it's basically just them on stage. Like there might be a drummer, but you're the focal point, because the drummer's off somewhere in one of the corners, or hidden, and you're the focal point. That's it. There's a lot riding on you, and she wasn't playing an instrument or anything like that. It was just her and a microphone, and I respect that, because that takes like getting on stage in general takes balls, but getting on stage and being the focal point with no one else around you to really look at is really, really scary. And I respect that big time. I thought her set was dope. Like I said, wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't expect pop music when she came on stage, if I'm being honest, but it was a pleasant surprise. The crowd was into it, which was cool. She definitely still fit the overall vibe of the show, so it wasn't like it was the super out of left field thing. And then Seeing Queen came on stage, and it was really cool. It's my third time seeing Seeing Queen, but my first time seeing her headline, so play like directly to what you would assume is a majority of her audience, whereas the first time I saw her was the Summer School Tour, which was an amalgamation of all different types of fan bases, and then the second time was opening for Motionless in White at their second night of their Apocalypse Fest last year, and that was mainly Motionless in White fans. So finally getting to see her play in front of her audience was super cool, because she's done a really great job of curating this community and this fan base, and it felt like a very accepting environment, which I really respect, and it's something that we talked about in the interview that we did with her as well, a little bit, the fan base and the community that she's built. So it was cool to literally see that in person versus just on my phone screen scrolling on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or what have you. But the set was really cool. She played a good chunk of her most recent record, Hot Singles in Your Area, and all those songs sounded fantastic. Played some songs off of the first two EPs as well. Played the new song, L-Shaped Couch, which sounded great live, and I'm going to be honest, has kind of been stuck in my head between TikTok and now seeing it live. That song kind of bumps a little bit. It does rock. Yeah, I thought it was great. She played Barbie and Ken, and Joey from In Her Own Words came out. He was doing merch for her as well, and he came out and did that like he always does, because he tours with her every time that she tours, and he always comes out and does that song. So it was dope to see that yet again. And yeah, overall it was a good time. The crowd interaction was great, and no complaints. Yet again, another tour that just kicked off. So peep the dates if it's coming to your area. The bill is fucking stacked. Seeing Queen puts on a fantastic show. Girli puts on a fantastic show, and Deadlands, man, holy shit. Very much highly recommend if it's coming through your area. Peep those dates. Coming up for me, I got Hosier tomorrow, which is an out of left field pick for sure. And then Saturday, I got The Warning, and Speed of Light is opening, because I know last time we did this, you're like,
There you
who's
go. We're
opening?
Like, what the fuck's opening?
Yeah,
okay,
Speed of Light.
Gives me nothing.
Yep, that gives me nothing too. After that, I got the Summer of Loud festival tour, which I am so fucking excited for. Dark Divine, the word Alpha Wolf. The Devil Wears Prada. Fucking shit. The Amity Affliction, Parkway Drive, I Prevail, Beartooth, and Killswitch Engage, which is just a bonkers lineup, and I am so excited for that. I've also got Rachel, Anna Dobkin, and Age of Madness should be opening for them, and We Came as Romans, Currents, After the Burial, and Johnny Booth, which is another absolutely insane bill. I have not seen Currents since they headlined in 2023.
Wow.
I've missed all those tours since then. I am very fucking excited to see that band again. I hope that there's a new song out before then. But if there's not, I am still going to go absolutely fucking bonkers at that show. That is one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite live bands for sure. And I'm very excited for that. So that's what's on the docket for me for basically the rest of the month. I'm stoked.
I got nothing.
You got nothing, except 9,000 trips all over, up and down the East Coast.
I'll talk about those if you guys want me to. I went to Charleston the other week.
Yeah, review your trips. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of music to chat about, some records, and then so many fucking singles, because obviously no one put anything out on 4th of July. So instead, everybody and their mother decided to put music out this week. Every single single that was ever supposed to come out decided to come out this week.
The entire world came out,
I was adding stuff to the playlist all weekend, because there was stuff that my typical release pages that I check they couldn't keep up. So I would go on social media and I'd be like, holy fuck, that song came out, no one told me. And I was adding shit to the Spotify playlist literally all weekend. It was nuts.
Because I went from 2 hours to like 3.5, and I went,
and it was all singles. I didn't add a single record. I got the records on Friday morning. I still think I missed a couple of things, but this is pretty cohesive of most of the things that we would want to cover. That
everything that all the names here,
ring a bell, for the most part. So yeah, kicking it off, Scary Kids Scaring Kids dropped their new album, Maps Written in Water. Very excited about a new Scary Kids Scaring Kids record. I love this band, and I always love to see them make their way onto the playlist. The record kind of just appeared out of thin air. I know that they announced it, but I missed all the announcements and shit, and all of a sudden I go on their Spotify page and there's an album coming out in 2 weeks, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck? I knew they were dropping singles, we were covering them, but I missed whatever announcement post there was. So record came out this past Friday, and it's really solid. This is the second release since they've came back doing the same thing that they did on the first record, but I think the first record post hiatus, I think they've got it figured out a little bit more this time, because they, like I said, they did the same thing, which is they don't have a vocalist in the band. They have a live vocalist, and he's on one of the songs, but they pull in features for each song because they don't have a vocalist in the band, which is such a cool and unique idea. And I think it was executed a lot better this time. I think the first record, there was a lot of excitement with the band coming back, and I think that they went for, there were some features on that record that made a lot of sense, but then there were some that was like, holy shit at the name, and then you listen to the track and it was kind of like disjointed feeling. And it, some of the songs felt like it was more so about the namesake and not about, did the vocalist actually, did the vocalist really do the song justice? Because there were some absolutely massive names on that record, and there are big names on this album as well. You've got Lacey Sternum and Taylor Hansen from Hanson, Cat Leon. You've got Craig from Escape the Fate, Toby from Emery, Mike from Volumes and Fire from the Gods, and Tillian, formerly of Dance Gavin Dance, as well as Andy from Monuments. Like, there are still massive names on this record, but these songs and these vocalists feel like they fit the songs better and do the songs more justice than that was my biggest gripe with the last record, because I was like bummed out that I liked the record, but it wasn't something that I consistently came back to. And I thought at first it was because like the band is back and it's not really like it's the band, but it's not really the band. And that's certainly part of it. But like the first record opened with a feature from Spencer from Ice Nine Kills, and then had a feature from Noah from Bad Omens. And that was before Bad Omens really took off, but they were still a big name at the time. And, those songs, the vocalist didn't really feel like they like, especially the Noah one in particular. I just remember it feeling like it kind of felt a little out of place in a sense. And that was kind of my feeling with the first record. And I came to that conclusion listening to this record because the features feel like they are all of the songs across the board. And there were certainly songs on the last record that the vocalist did the songs justice. Spencer from Under Oath, there were 2 Spencers on the record. I felt that he really did that song justice. That was one of my favorites off of the first record back post hiatus. I'm just going to keep calling it the first record back.
No, because it makes sense. Yeah, the 2022
there was a several year gap, many years between the previous releases. This record, it opens with State of Disrepair with Paul Rose on it, and that song almost to me feels like a return to form in a sense for the band. And the record does not follow that, where like every song feels like this nostalgic return to form. But I think that kind of got me in the right feeling going into the record, because I was excited for the album knowing that it was coming out, but kind of went in with cautious optimism because of my feeling on the first record, and kind of expecting to come out with a few songs that I thought were really solid, and then the rest being like, all right, like this was cool, but I've got the songs I'll listen to and I'll move on. And then the record just keeps going. Songs like Adrenaline and Aftermath, really keep the record going, and we get away from this nostalgic feeling that I got with the first song, and kind of go into what is now the modern Scary Kids Scaring Kids sound. And the features are just doing the songs more justice, and I really like that. The people on these songs really feel like they make sense for the song. Even like, the Tillian feature is something that could have been totally out of left field and made no sense and been really disjointed, but the song felt like a song that Tillian would be on, because it was very like proggy and technical and like the stuff that he routinely does. And I don't think that there's anything wrong, because this new era of Scary Kids Scaring Kids is kind of a little bit all over the place, so it makes sense for the project. It is no longer solely a post-hardcore band. As much as I love those first 2 records, they're doing a little bit of everything. So them coming out with a song that Tillian makes a shitload of sense on, and then the next song being Charades, which has Andy from Monuments on it, which those 2 bands like kind of live in the same sphere, but one's a lot heavier than the other. It just makes it just the songs make a lot more sense. I really like Blackout with Rat Park. I like the closer, Rise and Fall. I think it's a very nice way to kind of end the record. All You Needed is a fantastic song. Every single song on this record I genuinely really enjoyed. I came away enjoying this album a lot more than I did. Sorry for all of the fucking pre-bullshit to get to this point of I like the album, but I had a lot of explaining to do, because I put a lot of things together in my head about a record I listened to 3 years ago by listening to this album this morning. So yeah, I really enjoyed this record, and I've understood a lot of things, and I'm really now all the way on board with the new era of Scary Kids Scaring Kids.
I'm very happy to hear that. I don't remember the first record back from hiatus, to be completely honest. So that shows it didn't really stick. It didn't really do much for me. I do remember liking the Spencer Charnas feature, but I believe in that era I was just liking anything Ice Nine Kills. But I mean, I do remember that song kind of fucking. So I'll leave that. I will not, try to take anything away from that. Going to this record, I was very excited because, I mean, Scary Kids Scaring Kids is like one of those bands that we've always just kind of like not made fun of or joked about, but it's just like, so it's just kind of like, even if I don't listen to them on the regular, it's still it's still the fucking the silly little Twitter thing. a lot of respect towards the band, a lot of respect towards their approach of how they're continuing the band. I really like their ability to grab almost any vocalist and be able to incorporate them into their sound and incorporate them into an album, to still make it their something cohesive that fits into their discography, but it still has kind of the essence of whichever singer from whichever band is featured on the song. So I'm excited for the record either way, because to me, it's just kind of like a collaboration record with almost all of my favorite artists at the time. So seeing the lineup, seeing all of the artists and the features on it, seeing Craig Mabbitt, seeing Tillian, seeing Andy from Monuments, I was I was stoked and I was sold on this record immediately because I was like, you can't have these fucking three features and it's gonna sound like ass. There's no way because these people are way too strong of artists, way too strong of writers, vocalists to produce something that's gonna sound like shit. And also, it's scary kids scaring kids, so it's like on top of that, it has to just sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I was right. Yay!
Yay!
The record is fucking incredible. This shit moves by so quickly for me. I'm sure it's long because it's 41 minutes, so it's
Mhm.
kind of on the regular side for albums, but you know, on the longer regular side, if that makes usually 30 minutes is the regular, the happy medium. 40 minutes runs a little over. Um, but this record to me just goes by so quickly. It's every song is worth noting. Every song is catchy. They all stand out and kind of stand on their own, but still fit into a cohesive record. Um, as I mentioned earlier, you're able to hear kind of like the bass of the song being scary kids scaring kids, but at the same time, it does feel like a Monument song, or it feels like a Tillian song, Dance Gavin Dance, or a solo project because he's doing solo music now, but it's more poppy, so it's kind of like
Mhm.
I don't know if I want to compare it to that, but he's been Dance Gavin Dance for so fucking long, so I'm gonna say that. Um, and the fucking Escape the Fate track, the Craig Mabbitt track, does sound a little bit like Escape the Fate. It's not as heavy as influence as the other ones, in my opinion, but for me, it's like Tillian and Andy have such strong and notable vocals where it's iconic vocals is what I should be saying. Tillian specifically for me is one of the ones where it's like any song he's on is going to sound like a Dance Gavin Dance track to me because
When you found
that's
him.
just him.
Yeah.
It's just fucking him. And that was my first introduction to him. And they don't make them like that anymore. You know, it's like in the Pierce the Veil and the Donovan Maleros and the, you know, the Kellens and that type of high pitched vocal. Um, so going off of that, all of that to say wraps up. I really enjoyed this record. It exceeded my expectations. I didn't have many, not that I wasn't looking forward to it or I had too high of expectations. It was just I went in very neutral for this record, but still looking at the track list kind of antsy because I was like, oh, I know these songs are going to be good. I'm very excited for this run specifically. Um, I liked it a lot. As I said, my favorite tracks were the Charades, All You Needed, and I really liked Adrenaline. I also really enjoyed Rise and Fall and Rise and Fall Part 2, which were the closers. Something about those just hit a note for me in my brain, especially Rise and Fall Part 2, because it wasn't as much of a like big track. It's a minute and a half, but it's just something about it really tied the album together for me. Really felt like as soon as it started, I was like, oh, this is the end. There's nothing else after this, is there? And I looked at the track list, it was the final closer.
Yeah.
Incredible record. I think they pulled it off very well. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really no notes. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Split Chain dropped their album Motion Blur. What a fucking banger, man. This shit fucked. I enjoyed this thoroughly. I thought I mean it's one of that kind of like new age metalcore that I've been trying to get you on board with. I don't know if you've been seeing the vision. It feels like I'm talking to a wall every time I bring it up. But you know that kind of like that Wind Waker Acres type shit where it's like kind of like hyper pop, not hyper pop, but electronic. Like it has those elements and it's like fun and it's like upbeat, but it's heavy and it has breakdowns. That new age metalcore shit. I fuck with it. I think this record is incredible because it hits that note for me and it scratches that little itch in my brain. Recently, I have been listening to and leaning on Hyperviolence by Wind Waker. So this record came out in the perfect time for me because it's like, as I said, it kind of scratches that same itch for me, but just in a different lane. It's not as electronic as Wind Waker. So if I'm not really feeling kind of that side of that record, this record still hits that kind of like very full, very vibey, atmospheric kind of level of metalcore, which I really like. And again, it's that new age, but it's kind of like dripping in right now. It's not like everyone's doing it yet, but it's kind of like, if you know, you know, you know? So really liking this record. My personal favorite is Split. I really liked Split. And then I really liked Born, Tired, Torn, and then also Rookie. So the A side was my favorite. Really enjoyed this record a lot. Fucks. Thumbs up.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this record. You know, we've been covering the singles as they've been rolling out. I discovered this band at the top of the year when they opened for Silverstein their first time over here in America. Was supporting Silverstein. What a way to make your way over here and make your live debut on this side of the world. And you know, the singles, you know, like I think we talked about this literally in the last episode, and we say this all of the time. But you know, the new band, so like the singles were only doing so much for me. Thought the stuff was cool enough to be like, yeah, we're gonna go we're gonna see this one through, but wasn't doing a ton for me. And that's no disrespect to any of the songs, because I wound up really liking them in the record. That's just a case of new band, so much music to listening to anywhere from 10 to 30 singles a week, and just trying to formulate a quick opinion on it to give like a speed review at the end of the podcast about it. So, you know, going in and this really being the first time I'm fully going to digest something from Split Chain, I really enjoyed it. What I'm picking up is, you know, I really dig the production style, because the production style is very reminiscent to me of the new Thornhill record, Bodies, which is that new age metalcore. Yes, which is a record I've been spending a lot of time with, especially after I got to see them perform it live.
Fuck off. I don't care. You know,
I really liked the record, but it kind of just came and went. There was a lot at the beginning of the year that I was spending a lot of time with, and that record came out after those albums. So I kind of revisited it, knowing that I was gonna go see a bunch of those songs live, and I spent a lot of time with the record after the fact. You know, I really dig that like sludgy, dirty like production that is on that record,
like
and
hazy.
And it comes through perfectly on this album as well. You know, and it's got like the vibes on the record are very, very similar to me as well, not in like a copycat kind of way, because of course the records were all done at about the same time, but just in that same kind of living in the same kind of, like Glory's saying, that new age era of metal that's kind of been popping up. You know, there's some tracks off of the new Acres record that I can definitely see what you're saying. Wind Waker is a little too bright for me, in my opinion, production wise. Yeah, you know? I see Acres, Split Chain, Thornhill kind of all living in that world together. Not always Acres, but there's some cuts off of that new record that definitely live in that space. Wind Waker a little too bright, but I'm seeing the vision. I'm starting to see what you're I'm starting to pick up what you're putting down. That's for sure.
Group that I'm forming, the little tour package that I'm forming. Guys, hear me out.
Shit would go
please.
Nuts. But yeah, I really enjoyed this record. You know, I'm not always one for like that dirty production style, but I think that the songs also really hold up. That's really the ticket, is like the production can be as dirty and grimy and hazy as you want it to be, but if the songs suck, the album's going to suck then, because now you've just got shitty production over shitty songs, and
it's all just shit.
Yeah, now it's just shit.
Flush it, you know?
But but we've got this hazy, mysterious kind of production that's really grimy and not clean around the edges, which is something we're seeing just across the board in metal, is this very polished production, which I love. I love that shit. I eat that shit up all the time. But the songs on this record really stand out alongside it. Under the Wire is a fantastic way to open it. Bored, Tired, Torn was a single, but that shit absolutely rips, especially in the number 2 hole. I really like I'm Not Dying to Be Here, Who Am I, Subside is probably my favorite song off the record. That one was a real standout for me. Headway, coming right after that, is really solid. And then My Mistake is like the perfect way to close this record, because it slows down. It's like got this haunting vibe to it, which is complemented very nicely by the production style on the record. And it's a 5-minute track, but it makes sense for what they were going for on this record, to have a little bit of a longer, hazier, slower, haunting kind of song to close off what was basically just kicking you in the teeth for the last 30 some odd minutes. I was pleasantly blown away by this record. I know that a lot of people have been very excited by this band, especially since they, have made their way over here and started to infiltrate the United States by touring over here a couple times now. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this band, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, they just toured with Silverstein, big rooms, obviously eyes are going to be on them. But now I'm seeing the music back it up as well. And I am all the way here for this shit. This record absolutely rips, and I'm going to be spending time with this, that's for sure.
Damn straight. I fully agree, concur, ditto.
Hell yeah. Born of Osiris dropped their new record Through Shadows. Have been waiting so goddamn long for this album. It has been literal years. Not literal years. It's been like 2 years since the first single came out, and they were like coming out in dribs and droves, and like it would pick up for a second and then the band would disappear, and then they would pick up for a second and then the band would disappear, and then we finally got the album announcement. The album dropped on Friday, and this shit absolutely rips. Honestly, my only gripe is that I had so much time with some of these singles that it's like, shit, I've heard these songs so many times.
You're sick of it.
Yeah, and they are kind of, clumped together on the A side. But like, this album is so fucking awesome. It's, Born of Osiris is a little bit more of a technical metal band. It's very riffy. But what I like about it is it's not like, holy shit, man, like you really got to get into it and really be able to digest it.
You gotta listen to the instrumentals.
You got to really digest the instrumentals and take it in. Like, it's not this super like proggy 9-minute long songs that you really need to just like get in the zone to understand. It's technical, but it's digestible in the sense of that they ensure that most of the songs are on the bouncier side, and you're able to move, and you don't have to sit there and like try, like you can just take the instrumentals for what they are, even though they are a little bit more on the more technical proggy kind of side, and be able to digest it, which is something I really appreciate. Glory, it looks like you are dying to say something right now.
It's like nonchalant prog, it's like chill as fuck, but like it's kind of like serving. Like, it has the aura is crazy. It's like chill, That was a lot of TikTok
words in one fucking sentence.
It's crazy because I don't use TikTok
to describe the new Born of Osiris record.
I go on Twitter once a day, so that was my vomit right there.
But I get it, yeah, because like, it's there for you if you want to indulge in that side of the band, but if you don't, you're able to easily kind of turn off that side of the band and still be able to get the full scope of what's going on, which is not always something that we get to say when we talk about a band where the riffs are like this. So I really respect that about this, and that's something that I've picked up on from the first single, Mind Short Circuiting, which is one of my favorite songs off the record still. I was like, okay, like this has definitely got a lot to it, and if I wanted to sit here and digest that side of the song, I absolutely could, but there's also this entire other side of the song that I can just sit there and digest as a little bit more of a casual listener to the music, and that goes along for the entire record. The way it opens with Seppuku is an interesting way to open the record. It feels like a really extended intro, to be quite frank with you. It does feel like it could be trimmed a little bit, because it's like really weird and like not technical in like a riffy sense, but like actually like electronic elements, technical. And it's a really interesting way to open the record. I don't hate it, but like I said, it kind of feels like it's a little long. But it flows so nicely into Elevate that I can only bitch about the song so much, because holy fucking shit, Elevate is a fantastic way to immediately pick the energy up, because I think that's my problem with the opening track, is it doesn't quite set the tone for the energy of the album. It kind of lives in this very flatline plane, and I feel like it could do a better job of building up to what Elevate is. And Elevate does a great job of picking up that slack, because that is such a big song, and it was a single. It feels like a single. It was a single. It was fucking huge. I think that's my problem with the opening track. But Elevate picks up the slack for sure. That song is fucking ginormous and a fantastic way to open up the record. Through Shadows, the title track is phenomenal. The War That You Are, amazing. A Mind Short Circuiting, absolutely mind-blowing track. I don't mean to keep calling out the singles, but these songs were singles for a reason. They are strong beyond strong. The album tracks are strong as well, but the singles are on another level for sure. In Desolation, holy fucking shit. I mean, that song broke my brain the first time I heard it as a single, and it continues to do that even now. And the song's been out for a couple years, and I've heard it in all sorts of different contexts, and that song continues to blow me the fuck away. Activated with Spencer for Under Oath, what a wild fucking feature pull, but that is absolutely fantastic. Transcendence is a really, 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 really solid song, and Blackwater as the way to close this record off is a real nice way to tie things together. So like I said, a couple of small gripes on the record, but this is largely in part a fantastic record. Long time coming from Born of Osiris, and I'm glad we finally got an album, because I was starting to think that these singles were just going to live as singles and I was never going to see a record, but it finally came, and these songs are phenomenal. And my only gripes are the singles are clumped a little too close together, because they all live on the A side, and then the opening track could maybe have provided a little bit more energy, but Elevate does a great job of picking it right up instead. But this album is absolutely incredible.
You took everything I wanted to say. I thought that this record was insane. It completely blew me out of the water. Off first listen, off the rip, I was sold immediately. This record covers so much ground, but it still stays very cohesive and enjoyable and digestible. It's throwing all the little buzzwords out there. What I really like about this record, it is very melodic. Boom, another one. But like, I mean it this time. Like, heavy. Like, this shit is groovy. This shit is so fun and pretty to listen to. As I said, it's just very digestible. It's very not in like a bad way, but like very general audience friendly. It's nothing that they're not doing anything that's like hella experimental that can kind of like freak new listeners out. It's very easy and approachable for new fans. Me.
Yeah.
I love this record. So, my personal favorites that I bookmarked literally off of first listen. For the singles, not first listen, but revisiting and kind of enjoying it in the context of the record. Fucking hell. Elevate. Fucked. I loved that track. Inverno. Fucked. I loved that track. A Mind Short Circuiting. Loved that track.
Fucks.
I also have Activated. I loved that. That's what Spencer Chamberlain. What I really liked about that track is out of fucking nowhere there's a saxophone. What? That shit caught me so off guard, and it made me restart the song, because I was like, clearly, maybe I missed something. Maybe this has been going on and then somehow I just zoned out, because I felt completely locked in for this record, which is, I'm gonna be honest, rare for me. Listening to a new record by an artist that I'm not super familiar with, there are gonna be some tracks where I just zone out, because it's like, it's new and I'm not fully there. For those times, I do give it kind of like another run over, just to kind of familiarize myself if I did zone out a little bit. But for this record, I felt completely fucking locked in, because it switched up so many times. That's why the prog label kind of slides over there. But that Spencer Chamberlain track, the sax just comes in randomly. There was no prior sax on the record, I don't believe. So it really made me feel like it was very Under Oath inspired. It made me feel like that Spencer, or maybe it's just the Under Oath guys as well, did have a hand in kind of like the formation of the song and the instrumentals or something, because that new Under Oath record, obviously, as Under Oath is very fluid, experimental, and I feel like they had their little grubby hands on that. So I'm gonna say that was probably something Under Oath. Other than that, the rest of the record is incredible. Those were my standout tracks that made me go, God damn, I gotta add that to a playlist. So those were immediately added to my liked tracks. Um, Great record, blew me out of the water. Went on my album of the year contender list like off the bat because it was just something that was unexpected, but genuinely such a standout record for me. Loved it. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Chapel dropped their new single, Mexico. I love Chapel so much. They make the best little pop rock beats. This one's definitely more on the poppier side. Carter did drugs in Mexico, and someone helped him calm down, and he thought that was cool as fuck. So shout out them. Um, Fucking love this track. It's so catchy. It's such an ass shaker. They only make ass shakers. That's my review.
I fucking love Chapel. I cannot stop saying how excited I am that this band is back. The record drops on Thursday, so we'll be chatting about the full album next week. I am so excited to chat about the album. I'm so excited to have it on the DSPs and be able to hear that thing in full. And we
sound like a manager.
We sound like a manager. And we may or may not have ran it back with Carter. Good old Carter Harden.
Been with us since the beginning.
Been with us since the beginning. We may or may not have ran it back, and that may or may not be coming out very, very soon. I'm just excited to have new Chapel because I did genuinely think the band was going to be going away for a second, and we were just going to be living with what we have, which was fine. The discography is flawless and continues to be flawless. But we get a new Chapel record this week, and I can't believe that that's a sentence that I get to see in the year of 2025.
It's already, anticipatory on my album of the year list.
Yes, I'm very excited. Ice Nine Kills dropped their new single, The Great Unknown. What a weird single pull.
Let me say this. Okay. Let me get my words out, and then you can say whatever. I'm going to make this so quick. So whatever they did on Rainy Day, you remember Rainy Day, right?
Of course I remember Rainy
My
Day,
introductory track to Ice Nine Kills, they should have saved that shit for this song. It was techie, it was glitchy, it was gamey, it was like fun and technical. This song falls so flat, respectfully. It falls flat compared to what the actual concept is. Obviously, it's Matrix based. It's the fucking God, what is it? We're in a not alternate reality. Fuck, what do they say? The whole concept of it. You're in a simulation. Thanks, Shane, for fucking nothing.
You're welcome, Glory. That's what I'm here for.
For my yabbering, and you don't understand what I'm trying to fucking say.
My bad for letting you flounder that time, Glory. It won't happen again. It most definitely will.
It will. Because you're gonna be like, the fuck? I'm
what
gonna
are
be
you
like,
saying?
Dude. Anyways, so this song should have been a lot more techy. It should have had a lot more electronic elements. It's weird. They're usually really good with matching kind of like the genre and the individual elements of whatever movie, book, poem that they're writing about with, just little Easter eggs and whatnot. I feel like they missed the mark with this one. Because the last one, I think it was Work of Art, was their last track, because then they had Meet and Greet. Both of those songs, Work of Art, I was not a big fan of, but I still do think... I haven't seen Terrifier. I saw the second one, actually, so that's a lie. Not good. I'm going to tell you right now.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll take your word for it. But I thought that the song matched it. I thought it took a lot of the elements from the actual, like little Easter eggs and little sound bites from it. I thought it incorporated it very well into the song. So even as a song I didn't enjoy, I was still like, okay, they did that well. Meet and Greet. Flawless. That track. Yeah. So going from that to this, it just feels half-assed. It doesn't feel, and it's crazy because, sorry, I was a massive Ice Nine Kills fan, so it's like I followed all. Shut up. I followed all the members, all that bullshit. Sorry, respectfully. Again, all this is respectfully. I just talk out of my ass. I'm sorry. So, Joe, the bassist of Ice Nine Kills, has been, using the script of The Matrix for maybe like the last year, all of 2023. Fuck, we're in 2025, so a little bit ago, all of 2023 and 4, all the captions to his posts would be just literally continuing the script from the Matrix from the last post. So he wrote the whole fucking
That's awesome.
movie in his post.
That's great.
So they have obviously, he's either been pushing for this for a while and they finally did it, or it's been in the works for that long. Knowing that, it's such a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you had all of this time. I assume, I'll give it 2 years. You had 2 years to make this track. And it sounds like this.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my review. Sorry. As a former massive Ice Nine Kills fan, someone who spent a lot of time listening to the music, this song's just disappointing to me. It doesn't feel like it has their spunk in it, you know? That's it. I'm done.
As someone that doesn't always get what Ice Nine Kills is putting down, doesn't always pick up what Ice Nine Kills is putting down, and that's due to my lack of cinema knowledge across the board, as well as book knowledge and poem knowledge and general knowledge about pop culture, especially in the horror space. I'm typically, I'm more so in it for vibes and for breakdowns, and typically those songs also go hand in hand with the ones that really execute those ideas and whatever piece of media that they are taking from and using that to inspire the song. Those typically tend to be the ones that they across the board, the fan base is like, those songs are standouts because they do X, Y, and Z with the stuff and whatnot. And I have been seeing lukewarm response to this song across the board on the Facebook groups, because for some reason those pop up on my Facebook page, as well as on Reddit. Just generally a lukewarm response to this. I haven't seen a ton of people being like, holy fuck, where I saw that a lot with a work of art. I also couldn't escape that song. And this song, I honestly, I was so fucking busy with other shit last week that like I knew stuff was coming out, but I didn't listen to, like, I was excited about so much that like came out last week, and I didn't get to listen to it until I started the playlist because I was just so busy with other shit. But I was able to escape this song largely in part for the entire last week. Besides the initial post that it dropped, like I did not really see much being talked about with the song, so I was able to escape it. I didn't hear it in passing anywhere or anything like that. I think that says a lot about the song, because just because I was busy does not mean that I was not spending a decent amount of time on social media and scrolling my typical things when I had a free second. And I was able to escape the song, and that's typically the most annoying thing about a new Ice Nine Kill song, is the inability to escape it. And I was able to escape that, and I think that says a lot about the song. Like I said at the very beginning of this little segment here, bold choice for a single. I think it's a little out there just sonically for the band. It's not quite exactly what you would expect, and I think that's part of the lukewarm reception. It's a little bit tamer than the band normally is, and to go with that as a single is a ballsy move, especially with no like body of work announced alongside it. If there was a body of work announced and then they were like, this is a single, okay, fine, you're showing us the gambit of what the record does. But to not have a body of work announced and go with something that's not like Ice Nine Kills is an interesting choice. And I know there was a lot of lead up with this, the AI bullshit that happened about 7 weeks ago, so almost 2 months ago, was all allegedly lead up to this song. So a lot of teasing has went into this. Whether or not it was meant to tie into it, they wound up tying it all together, which kudos to the marketing team if that was the case.
It's been like a thing. Again, I'm sorry. I was in so deep. It's been like a thing for like it's been like a year since last Silver Scream, because a guy, I'm not even gonna go into it. Spencer's allegedly dead. AI. That's the whole lore.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not that familiar with the Ice Nine Kills lore, but there's been a lot of lead up to this one. So for this to be the song is tough, and I think I'm seeing that across the board everywhere. So it's a bummer, but it is what it is. Song was okay at best, and I'll leave it at that. They'll be touring for the rest of the year and all that. Forever. So you can definitely go hear this song live if you so wish. Plenty of tour dates coming up.
A lot. and they'll continue to happen.
Especially if you live in places that tours typically don't come to, because that's what like the next U.S. tour is doing.
That's what they're getting
because they've toured so much.
They're Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
man.
they're hitting like the C&D markets now. They're out of A's and B's, which obviously makes sense. You can't go play New York and Philadelphia and the LAs of the world all the time. You won't draw anybody. At some point, you'll stop drawing people, or the draw will be a lot less. People will not be excited. So it makes sense to go to the Green Bays and the Virginia Beaches of the world,
Pensacola,
and the South Dakotas and the Wyomings and all that shit of the world. That makes sense. So if you live in those areas, definitely peep the dates, because there might be an Ice Nine Kills tour coming near your area.
Guaranteed, actually. Guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed. We are not guaranteeing anything. Disclaimer:
I'll give you $30.
We are not guaranteeing anything. We are not giving anybody any money if we are wrong. But there is a high likelihood, if you peep those dates, there might be something near you.
Or eventually in the next year. We came as Romans. I added that. Sorry. Wait, fuck that. They dropped a new single called Culture Wound.
They also announced their upcoming record that comes out, I believe, in August, which is very exciting, because I was like, they're going on this fucking US tour, the Bad Luck tour. They're taking it to Europe and the UK at the top of next year as well. They're going on this big massive tour, and there's nothing fucking announced. When's it announcing? Makes sense to announce everything right before the tour kicks off, because the tour kicks off here in the next week or so. This song fucking rocks. Everything that we've gotten off of this upcoming We Came as Romans album has been absolutely insane, and I'm very excited to have new We Came as Romans. I've really been digging this stuff, even more so than the songs from Dark Bloom, because it feels like they're definitely still doing the modern We Came as Romans sound, but it's a little less like straight octane core, which that record was largely in part a lot of that straight up like, let's just go for mass appeal, octane core, and I eat that shit up. I love that record. I thought that shit was dope, but I feel like they've pulled it back a little bit. Like, not every single song opens up with the song title from what we've heard, and that's a very serious octane thing to do. It's just the first word you hear is the song title, which is dope. I love that shit. Again, I eat it up every fucking time.
Every time you do,
But the songs have felt a little less for the masses, although they are still very much modern We Came as Romans, which I'm totally fine with. I love that sound. But yeah, that's what I've gathered. Things could change when the record comes, but I'm very excited. I've been digging everything so far.
Hell yeah. No, I thought this song fucked. I thought it was heavy. The vocals were fucking clean, incredible. Clean, I mean, there were screams, but I mean, what I'm saying? They sounded fucking fire. Yeah, I really enjoyed this track thoroughly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Of Mice and Men dropped their new single, Wake Up, announced their upcoming record, Another Miracle, which comes out on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. It comes out in November.
Friday this year?
It is. Yeah, November 14th. Big day. I am very excited for this upcoming record from Of Mice and Men. I really dug what is now the title track, Another Miracle. This song being the one to announce the record on is a little strange, because it's a little out there and on the slower side for Of Mice and Men, just across the board.
Like their Lemon. Callous Cowboys. This is like their Lemon. It's kind of strange, but I fuck with it.
It's even out there, just like looking, because I when Another Miracle came out, I was so blown away by that song and so excited for this new era of Mice and Men that I went back to the two previous records, because it's been a beat since we've gotten new Of Mice and Men. I believe it was end of 2023, so that's like lifetime in the way we consume music. That's lifetimes ago. I haven't listened to fucking Tether in literally years. So I went back to that. I went back to Echo because I really enjoyed those two records, and a song like this is not to be found really on those songs either, or on those albums either. So this is a really out of left field song and an interesting one to announce the record on, but I really dig it. I think the song is cool. I'm interested to see where it goes on the track list and what the rest of the record sounds like. Really digging Another Miracle. The song is interesting, and like we've said a billion times, out of left field, but it's still cool in its own right. But a little confused on why this is announcing the record, and I'm just hoping that this isn't what the record sounds like.
I hope not. I doubt it.
I highly
they would
doubt
lose
it.
like their entire fan base,
I highly
they would
doubt
gain
it.
kind of like a country fan base too, so it'd be a little weird. Unless they're switching up and they're doing the country pipeline. But I liked this track. I thought it was fine. Again, you kind of hit all the points where it's just like kind of weird, stand out, strange pick to announce the album on. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of octane core, and just kind of like that's very easily listenable.
The way it's written.
It's just like it flows, it comes and it goes, and it doesn't really like it's there,
Yeah.
and you go, yeah, all right, that was all right. So, yeah.
Huh.
TX2 dropped their new single, Hollow Frame. I didn't even know this was TX2 until like maybe like 3/4 of the way through the song. It caught me off guard so bad. This is like he's done like heavier, freakier shit before, but this felt like a different vein. Really enjoyed it. Liked this a lot. Again, I didn't recognize his vocals until like 3/4 of the way in for whatever reason. He said something and I went, "Is that fucking Evan?" And I looked and I went, "Oh, that kind of makes sense now."
Yeah.
I thought this track was great. I love this era for him. We asked him to do heavier shit. I hope he's doing heavier shit now because this is great.
Yeah, I really respect TX2 and Evan's ability to, with one single, toe the line, be really controversial, being really out there, create this crazy thing that's like, even as a fan of his music, be like, do I even like this shit? Like, he has the ability to do that, and then the next single, reel it back in and do something that is very much kind of with the program, in a sense, like, typical what we would expect from this genre. And he toes the line and does both sides very well. And it works for him. It's clearly working. The dude just finished up 7 or 8 weeks of touring. TX2 and Gang finished up 7 or 8 weeks of straight touring, with the Ice Nine Kills tour going into Summer of Loud, and now Evan and Gang are finally home, releasing new music. Which is very exciting stuff. I think that this song is cool, a little bit more like straight up what you would expect from this genre in its entirety. Whereas, like I said, TX2 is able to also just do something that's totally out of left field and very, very weird and controversial, either in sonic or lyrics or both, and then is able to not necessarily like the safe option, but just like do a little bit more of like not even what you would expect from TX2, but just the genre in its whole, because you don't expect TX2 to then do what the genre he's trying to do sounds like. You expect him to do crazy weird shit, so it's like out of left field for him, but it's in the pipeline for the metalcore genre. It's very weird and complex and strange, but he's able to toe both lines, and he's towing the line of a little bit more what you would expect from the genre with this song, which I think is dope. I'm liking it. Need a record at some point, for the love of God. So many singles that turn into EPs, but where's the album? That's what we need. Yes. ERRA dropped their new single, Gore of Being. They got another one dropping next week. That's an interesting way to release things. This song fucking rips. This has got to be one of my favorite ERRA songs potentially ever.
I was gonna say the same thing. It has that oomph in it. The vocals are fucking crazy. Kind of like the time switches and shit. I fuck with it. ERRA's always been one of those technical bands where it's kind of like you either love it or you hate it. And this track definitely hit the spot for me as well. I agree. Dayseeker dropped the new single, Creature in the Black Night.
Yeah, and they announced their upcoming record, which is very exciting. We all knew it was coming. They were not quiet about the fact that they were working on a new record, and they finally announced that it's finally on its way, which is very exciting stuff.
Please, Silent Planet feature, please. I just had to put that out there.
I really I like this album cycle. I really liked the last record, but it was definitely a shift in what the band is doing and just in the scene that they find themselves in. Because that's they were doing the metalcore for so long, and then just kind of stayed in it, even though they decided to go outside of the box entirely with the last record. But this album and the singles thus far, I'm finding it a little bit easier to digest it, and that might be because now we've been exposed to a full record by them, and I like that album. There was nothing wrong with that album. I liked it, but I am finding myself a little bit more excited for this next record, and that might just be because now they've done it once. I'm a little bit like I'm here. I'm expecting it now, and I'm a little bit more open-minded to this idea. So I'm here for it. I'm digging it.
Hell yeah. I love this song. It's really vibey. It's heavy. It's everything you want in a Dayseeker song. So I was very, very happy to hear it and go, yeah, that's what I wanted. Cool. Hell yeah.
Yellowcard dropped their new single, Take What You Want, coming off their upcoming record dropping in October. This shit fucking rips. Good old Yellowcard. Another banger.
Stringed instruments fuck. Love when bands go outside of the box. It doesn't feel like it's like made into like this big grand thing. It's something that's just kind of like woven into the instrumentals. I love that shit. It's just subtle. Fuck with it. I thought the song was great.
Hell yeah.
Dance Gavin Dance dropped their new single Trap Door. Dance Gavin Dance, I love you so much. Andrew Wells, you're doing incredible. I fuck with this new era of Dance Gavin Dance so well. I think Andrew's vocals are obviously different than Tillian's, but it kind of scratches that level. It's like Idola, but if they were like a little jazzier, a little funkier, not as heavy or I guess atmospheric is kind of the word that I'm looking for. I love it so much. Dance Gavin Dance is so fun. I'm so upset I didn't make that tiny trip to see them and that fucking crazy tour with Belmont and the home team. I'm kicking myself every single day, but it's fine. It'll happen never again. But you know, I'll see everyone separately.
All those bands will be around again.
I know.
This single's great. This new era for Dance Gavin Dance has got to be my favorite so far, and I think is also like the most digestible version of Dance Gavin Dance potentially ever, because I think Andrew has such amazing vocal ability, and previous eras of the band, the vocalist has always kind of lived in this higher register that is not as digestible, and Andrew has such a range to his vocals where he can go high, but he also can mellow it out a little bit, and that's making things a lot more digestible for me. I'm a lot more open-minded to music in general since when we started the podcast and covered I think we covered the 2020 Dance Gavin Dance record.
We covered all with Synergy.
What the fuck is this? This I don't like this.
I went, who even is Rob Damiani? What the fuck's a Don Broco?
For a multitude of reasons, vocals being one thing, instrumentals being interesting another thing, but I just think that this is a lot more digestible across the board, and I'm fucking with it big time. Deftones dropped their new single "My Mind Is a Mountain," announced their new record. Deftones, they can come back and I guess do whatever the fuck they want. I've never been a huge Deftones fan, but I didn't think that this song sucked. So I'll give it to them, and I'll remain cautiously optimistic for the record, because I think that there are some Deftones songs out there that suck. I'll give it to them. I didn't think that this song sucked, so I'll remain cautiously optimistic.
I think Deftones, forgive me if I'm overstepping here. I feel like Deftones might be like the mother of kind of like that sludgy production style that we were referencing earlier.
They absolutely are.
So there you go. So I was listening to this and I was like, this is giving kind of Thornhill like 8 years. I kind of like this.
But like, they are the godfathers of horny ass sludgy metal.
Yeah, which is Thornhill. So it's like, I'm seeing a little overlap here. I thought it was fine. Honestly, I think Thornhill does it better. Respectfully, shout out Deftones. I'm pretty sure so-and-so and so-and-so and blah, blah, blah wouldn't be here without them. Flowers. I respect you guys. I prefer Thornhill. I thought this song was fine, though.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah. I thought that this was like leagues better than anything that we heard off of the last Deftones record several years ago.
We reviewed a Deftones. I was gonna say, I think this is my first time listening.
No, we reviewed that Deftones record and it was boring and droned on and on and on and was and it was just not good. This is already leagues better than that, and that's why I'm like, this doesn't suck, because there's some stuff in Deftones discography that absolutely sucks. I did not like that record. So going in with cautious optimism, I am not drooling over this like you would potentially expect me to, because it is a 90s new metal band and I love that shit. It fits into that stuff, but they're not a band that I've really spent a ton of time with, and I didn't like everything that I've heard. So I'm liking the song and I'm excited for the record. We will absolutely be covering it. So if you want to hear our opinion on the Deftones record, tune in. Glory just found out we're going to be reviewing it too at the same time.
This is like the Sleep Token record all over again, where it's like, wait, we are. wait a minute, I didn't.
I think you wound up enjoying it, so you might have another album of the year contender.
Fuck, I did. Yeah. I'm not revisiting it though. I don't want that on my album of the year list. I'm taking a stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Acorn dropped her new single, "Goodbye, Good Riddance." Badass, ass shaker, fucks.
Yeah, we just interviewed Taylor Acorn about her last record, put it out the Tuesday before this song came out. Gotta love that. So if you want to hear us talk about Survival Emotion and not the least bit about the new ERRA, you should go watch the interview. It was a great time catching up with Taylor about that, about the album, because we didn't get to chat around the record and got to chat a little bit closer to the deluxe. We got to chat around the deluxe. It took a second to get things scheduled, and then our schedules and our backlog ability got this out real close to the new ERRA. But now she's on Fearless, which is very exciting news. And this song absolutely rocks. She'll be on the Summer School Tour all summer long. If you want to hear this song live, I will be there. Grandson dropped his new single, Self-Immolation. I have really been digging the couple of singles off of this upcoming Grandson record, and I actually like the song more than the lead single. I just really like the style that he's going for, more so than anything that Grandson's ever done before, and I'm excited to hear this record in full.
I didn't like this track. That's all I got. I'm gonna keep it simple. I haven't been a fan of the new tracks that he's been dropping. I'm still holding out hope because I do like Grandson as an artist. I think he's very creative. I think he's fucking great at his job, But just the new tracks, I haven't been a fan of. Sonically, they don't do it for me. And I go, well, maybe the next one.
Oh yeah.
Not Enough Space dropped their new single, New Age Cannibal. Fucks, really liking everything they're doing. All of their songs have been insane. Really like this one. This one is a little special.
Absolutely. This song absolutely fucks. They finally announced their debut record, which I've been patiently waiting for so fucking long. I'm so excited to hear this album. And this song absolutely rips. Angel Dust dropped a pair of singles, The Knife, The Beat. These rock. They flow in together very nicely. It makes sense why they were singles together, and I think they absolutely rock.
I completely agree. I thought these songs fucked. I enjoyed them a lot. I don't think I have a favorite. I don't think I've spent enough time to pick one out to be, this is my favorite half of it. But honestly, you could say these are just one song.
I was gonna say they're one song.
They're one song. In the age, that's 4 minutes. That's one song.
Yeah.
I liked both of them equally.
Yes.
After the Burial dropped their new single, Hum from the Hollow. Oh, how fun.
First new music from After the Burial in a hot minute comes alongside this upcoming tour that they will be doing with We Came as Romans. They'll be supporting the US leg. And song absolutely rips. I like some of what After the Burial's done. I've never sat through an album rollout from them, so this will be a first, assuming that there is a record coming, which pretty safe assumption. Some body work EP or album will be coming. But yeah, I'm digging this for sure. I'm excited to hear it live. Presumably.
I know it sounds like it's gonna fuck live. It's heavy. It's kind of an ass shaker. I could see myself bopping to this one a little bit. Love that shit. I like the track. Yeah.
Oh yeah. South Arcade dropped their new single, Fear of Heights. They signed to Atlantic Records, which holy shit.
Goddamn.
That's absolutely insane. What a fantastic signing, because this band is insane. They've been all over my fucking internet feed for months now, and I am excited to see them go all the way, basically, right out the gate. And this song absolutely rips. They know how to write a chorus, that is for sure. And I'm excited for whatever's going to come next, because you don't sign a label deal and then just put out singles for the rest of the world for the rest rest of your existence, because they've also got a headline tour here in America in the fall. So I'm assuming something is going to come. I am hoping that we are going to get some body of work. I know we just got an EP, but maybe another one or an album, who knows. Very exciting times to be a South Arcade fan, that's for sure.
Damn straight. I thought this song was good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's the nice upbeat kind of pop rock vibe, pop punk, pop rock, whatever you want to call it. I liked it a lot. Yeah, it fucked. Pollyanna and NOAHFINCE dropped their new single Boy Girl. Catchy ass fucking song. I like this song a lot. I heard it ages ago before the NOAHFINCE feature. So the NOAHFINCE feature, I got it once the NOAHFINCE feature was added. I don't think I got a chance to visit it. So this was my introduction to the song. And I really liked the addition. I did like the song by itself without the feature because I'm just a big fan of just Jill's vocals on their own. I think Jill is an incredible vocalist. I think it is like always something that just on any playlist that I put their songs on, every time I hear Jill's vocals, I go, fuck, it's Pollyanna. I'm so excited. It's just, it carries just such a something to it. So I liked the song. Big fan. I think it's a really cute song. Yeah.
I respect Lori's music opinion, so I send her the things I'm working on before they are out. Hence why she got to hear the song.
Oh, that's what it was.
Without
Sorry.
Noah on it. But yeah, no, it finally came together. Pollyanna and NOAHFINCE and the Boy Girl. What a process to get it here. What an exciting process, and it's finally here. The song absolutely rips. From the second I heard this song, the chorus was instantly stuck in my head from day one, and that rings true now. July 14th, the song came out on July 9th, and this chorus remains stuck in my head. It's one of my favorites that Pollyanna has ever done, and I'm just excited about the response that the song has gotten thus far, and the response that the song hopefully continues to get. And I'm just very stoked. Fastest streaming song to date for the band.
Hell yeah.
If you can't tell by me talking, I work with the band. So fastest streaming song to date, and I really dig this song. I've dug both singles thus far, but this song in particular has been a song out the gate that was one of my favorites. So I'm excited about the response and people resonating with it and enjoying the song as much as I did when I heard it. MGK dropped his new single Vampire Diaries. I can't lie, this like pop kind of shit that MGK's been doing kind of fucks. Cliche absolutely bumps, and this song
I did like Cliche.
Kind of bumps. It's
so weird. He is so he pisses me off. I'm gonna say it. I put it out there. You piss me off. I like this song though.
But the music bumps.
Music fucks.
Yeah, like Cliche has Cliche, it didn't get the flowers that I thought it was going to, but had Song of the Summer potential.
A lot of people were pissing on it because he put out such a corny music video with it. My friend brought up MGK. We don't talk about MGK, and she was like, "You see that fucking music video you dropped?" I went, "What?"
But I didn't even watch the music video, honestly. But just the song itself had, and we said it when we talked about it. Song of the Summer potential, absolutely. And I mean that continues with Vampire Diaries. I'm really digging this new era. MGK also pisses me the fuck off. But I can't deny that the guy writes some seriously good tunes. The second pop punk record was hot ass across the board, like just straight up.
The first one wasn't good either.
Straight up ass. I liked it. But the second one was terrible, just straight ass. The singles thus far have been good though.
I'll give it to him. Silly Goose dropped 2 new singles, Keys to the City and Now Dance. I like Silly Goose. I like them a lot. It's like if Limp Bizkit was better. It's like if Limp Bizkit was good.
That's tough. That's really tough. I don't like that.
I love you, Fred Durst.
I don't like that you said that.
But that's my. If you like Limp Bizkit, listen to Silly Goose. You'll love them.
For fans of Limp Bizkit is basically this band in a nutshell, and I love them for it. They announced their upcoming record, which is very exciting. I'm digging both of these songs, especially Keys to the City, but Now Dance rocks as well. I love Silly Goose, and I'm sure you can tell why. and I just love this band, and I'm excited for this upcoming record. Attack dropped their new single I Complain on r/metalcore. Isn't that essentially what this show is in a nutshell? It's just instead of us going and complaining on r/metalcore, we made a show to complain about the metalcore that we would post. Instead of posting on there, we just complain on here and hope people
we show our faces.
We show our faces and do it. This song rocks. I'm really excited for this new Attack album. Comes out in August 8th to be exact. It's been really all over the map and not even close to the modern Attack that we've heard thus far. This record has so far, the singles off of this upcoming record have really been all over the map and done so many different things that we haven't seen the band do in the modern, up to date, post hiatus Attack era that we are currently in. But it works because Attack has always done that. Attack has always been all over the fucking place and done all sorts of different things. So it works. It absolutely works. And I gave that whole big spiel with the first single, and I'll save that spiel again for when we talk about the album in its entirety. Presuming that the rest of the record continues this train. We haven't heard the album yet. But yeah, this absolutely rocks. I'm very excited for this upcoming album.
Yeah, I enjoyed this track a lot. Honestly, to me, it just sounds like a standard metalcore track. I liked it a lot. It wasn't anything crazy or new for me, but maybe that's the point because it's I Complain on r/metalcore. Yeah. I like the track a lot, though. I mean, I think Attack is just such a good, fun band. I'm missing Kawaii Cowboys. I'm gonna bring that up until the day I fucking die. Yeah. Halestorm dropped a new single, "Rain Your Blood on Me." This is my favorite Halestorm single that they've dropped. All the other ones, personally, they have not hit the mark for me, but this one has some tang to it. There's something there. I think it has that big anthemic moment. I think it is catchy in some parts. It has good energy. I fuck with this song.
Yeah, this song absolutely rips. Is also my favorite of the singles thus far, because it's got that big anthem energy, like you said, without trying to... but the single stays driving and like a rock song throughout. Like,
it doesn't feel like it was forced in a moment.
Yeah. Darkness Always Wins, which was the first single, is a massive anthemic track, but is like, it starts out very slow, and even Everest is a similar, the title track off the record is a very similar vibe, where it's another huge anthemic song and makes sense as a single because of the way it's written, but again starts off very slow and then gets to this driving portion, whereas this song just basically out the gate kind of punches you in the face, which I think they desperately needed to showcase that side of this record with a single, because the first couple of singles off the album were showcasing a different side, which is fine. Those songs are great, and I'm sure they will sound good in the context of the record. But this song actually has me, the classic line. But this song actually has me somewhat excited for the record. We've had a very interesting past with Halestorm and our feelings on the band, especially the last record. But the songs off of this upcoming record, especially this one, had me feeling somewhat optimistic for the album in its entirety. August 8th again, so it'll be here before you know it, and we'll be able to unload our thoughts on the record once we get to hear it.
There you go.
Belmont dropped their new single, Live a Lie. Shit absolutely rips. Shout out Belmont. Fuck yeah.
I love Belmont. This is such a Belmont track. The riffs are riffing, the drums are drumming, everything's happening. Taz is tazzing. It's insane. I love this song so much. Shout out Belmont. Pinkshift dropped their new single, Vacant. This is such a fun fucking track. This track makes me want to move. I can see this song live. This is incredible. I love this new era of Pinkshift. I'm very excited for whatever they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, I really dig this new era of Pinkshift as well. I dig the moment in like the middle of the song where it kind of slows down a little bit and gets this like dancey-esque moment, because that's been the clip that they have been like promoting all over socials, and that's exactly what they're doing in the video, and I dig the fuck out of that. This song is phenomenal. I'm very excited for this upcoming record. Very excited about the new era. All Time Low dropped their single The Weather, announced their upcoming new record dropping in October, and have added on more dates, officially making this a world tour. Going to UK and Europe in 2026 to support the album. The song rips. I'm digging the new era of All Time Low. They're switching it up, and the songs sound full again, which was my main gripe with the past several All Time Low records. These songs,
say for a minute,
yes, these songs feel very full and together and like a band performing them, and I'm very excited.
I think it does feel like a band instead of something more heavily produced or isolated or anything like that. So I completely agree with you. I think this song is just so fucking fun. It does feel like All Time Low again. Big fan of this track.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. BABYMETAL and Bloodywood dropped their new single Con Con. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, it makes sense. Bloodywood did have BABYMETAL featured on their last release, their last album, which was fucking insane. If you have not heard it, please go listen to it. They do some
and they're on tour together right now.
Fun. Where?
It's continuing
Not Virginia.
on. No, it's already went past the East Coast. I was supposed to go, but the whole train thing. I was supposed to go to that.
It's a great song. I wish I could have heard it live.
Yeah. They weren't playing this one live, but they're on tour together right now. Makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
Bloodywood is on Bloodywood had BABYMETAL on their record. Makes sense to have BABYMETAL have Bloodywood on their record. I absolutely love this collaboration. I loved it on the Bloodywood record. I love it even more off of what's going to be the BABYMETAL record, because it just makes so much sense to have these two artists go together. They're so chaotic together in their own right separately, and putting them together creates this just absolutely amazing amalgamation of two bands that are so phenomenal together.
I'm trying to find the tour dates.
It ain't even close. Don't even
I know.
worry.
I'm trying to mourn, so I can see like, fuck, I could have seen them.
Yeah.
I can't. It's fine. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm over it.
Yeah, she's over it. She's gotten over it. Rain City Drive dropped their new single, Ride or Die. First song of the new era for Rain City Drive. You can hear this shit all summer long on the summer school tour. And it absolutely rips. I'm so excited for a new era from Rain City Drive.
Hell yeah. I love this song a lot. Congratulations. There was an engagement also posted along with this song. Crazy way to announce that you're engaged. Okay.
All right.
Right? I was like, fuck, okay, fuck it. All right. Great song. I love it a lot. I love Rain City Drive. Hell yeah. Hot Mulligan. Oh, for our last topic. Hot Mulligan dropped their new single, Proto Theme.
Which this is not a song off their upcoming record. They are completing side quests during the album cycle. They did a theme for a wrestler on the AEW wrestling thing. It's not WWE, it's the other one. AEW.
It's the real one.
Yeah, I don't know shit about wrestling, but I know that is also pretty big. So for a band like Hot Mulligan to get to do a theme for a wrestler, for any of the wrestling networks is huge, because wrestling is such a ginormous fucking sport. That is huge, and that is why it's on here. Because the song honestly rips. Sometimes the wrestling themes, especially on the WWE side, can be a little corny. Even from bands that we enjoy and cover regularly, those songs can be on the cornier side. But this,
it's fair though.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Cute,
It fits the vibe. But this feels like a Hot Mulligan song, which I really respect. Because going for such a big stage and really just continuing to be themselves, while this band absolutely catapults into the stratosphere, has been super dope to see. Because to complete a side quest like this and it still feel very much like a Hot Mulligan song,
it still feels part of the rollout.
Yes. Yes, it's very much a testament to how this band is very much just standing their ground and continuing to be themselves, and the people are just eating it up in the process, which is really, really dope to see.
I thought this song was incredible. I like saw a glimpse of what you just said in like passing of like Hot Mulligan. It was like Hot Mulligan did a theme song, and I was like, oh, okay. I like.
All right, cool. I'll go try to find out more about that later.
Shane will say something probably. So I saw that and I went, okay, cool, noted. So that makes sense. This is fucking awesome. It sounds like a badass theme song. It sounds like Hot Mulligan. I think this is incredible, and I hope more bands get this opportunity, because like this shit's huge, and Hot Mulligan well deserves it. So hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Instagram is Good Noise Podcast, Facebook is Good Noise Pod, TikTok is Good Noise Podcast, YouTube is Good Noise Podcast, audio streaming services are all Good Noise Podcast, and Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Of course, got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your Amazon storefront plug, and your merch store plug, and then we're going to sign off.
Check out our Amazon storefront. It has all the equipment we use to create the podcast. It has our mics. It has our computers. It has our fucking cameras. Don't get my camera. It's so bad with light. You know I have 3 lights on right now? Did you know that?
3 lights on? I have 1 monitor with the Google page open, and that's it.
I got 3 lights on, and it still fluctuates. If I sit back a little bit, if I see now I'm whited out. It'll balance out, but then some days it doesn't, and that's just the cross
I can't believe how many lights you have on you. It's like you have a podcast studio.
I do, man. It has our monitors, blah, 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 all that shit. Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. We don't have socks. We have everything else, though.
Maybe one of these days we'll get socks.
We won't. Patreon supporters. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm feeling a little crazy one day. Patreon supporters. Thank you. Matt from Pulses, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulses. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated, as always.
Thank you. And important plugs. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian Hate. Free Palestine. Fuck ICE. Be a decent person. Be a good person at shows. Pick up people if they fall. All that shit. Treat merch people decently. They're dealing with shit too. They probably have like 5 other jobs that aren't just dealing with you. That's all I got.
Hell yeah. Well, that's all we have for the day. I have been Shane.
I have been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.